Good afternoon. Welcome to Factotum Life. We are outside today working on a little outdoor project with our hot tub. And as you can see there, the hot tub is sitting covered up, not being used, not filled with water. It has been that way for 6 years. Since we have moved to this house, we have not done any sort of operating with that hot tub. So I have no idea if it actually works. I think it does. We've maintained it, keeping water out. I had the cover off last year. There doesn't seem to be, any damage from rodents or anything like that. So we're hopeful that it will work. But what we're going to do today is we've laid out a pad. And this pad here is going to be our base for the hot tub. But we're not going to put the hot tub directly on these pavers. What we will do is we're going to put the hot tub on top of 2 inches of foam. And what I've done is I bought 4x8 by 2 inch sheets of foam that we'll actually place on top of these pavers. And the whole intention of that is to make sure that we don't have rodents coming up into the foam. And then the foam will hopefully kind of help keep the heat in. And this hot tub does have some spray-in foam, but a little bit more would help. And so that's what we're kind of doing today. We've laid this out and I've sprayed the corners. And as you can see here, we've sort of laid out where the hot tub is going to be, but this square right here is going to be reversed and we're going to have kind of a stepping pad. So we need to figure out what our elevation is here, so I have some estimation of how deep I need to actually dig into the earth. And then once we have this area leveled out, then we'll put these pavers down. I am short pavers, so we'll have to make another trip and get more. And the reason we're short is because the pad actually grew. So let's get to work. What we're going to do is we're going to kind of level this out and see if we got it to where we need it.
Trying to get all the big ones out.
Yeah, we're going to have to cut, see this line right here? We're going to have to go right to the line. So here,
Yeah, I
watch
can
this.
do that. So like that.
We are outside right now doing a little bit of trenching, and unfortunately I didn't set up the camera to show this, but I kind of wanted to highlight it and talk about it. And what we are looking at is part of my wife's Mother's Day gift, and we took one of the forks off and we left the one fork on, and we basically stuck it in the ground about 18 inches and then pulled up and continued that all the way through our little trenching project. And as you can see here, we have a trench that is roughly 18 inches deep, and we're going to have a post in the corner here. Now I'm slightly excited about this because we've not had this hot tub operational for at least 6 or 7 years, at least since we've been here. We moved it here and never hooked it up. So I'm slightly excited. Hopefully it still works. We've maintained it as far as keeping water out, but what we've done is we've excavated out, and I've put down 2-inch foam on the underside, and then on the underside of the foam we have pavers that are continuous underneath. And the purpose of that was so that we didn't have animals burrowing up into the foam. And the foam is to just help with the insulation slightly. So I don't think we're going to have this operational all year, but a little bit of it helps. There we go. We have our trench dug. It's going to go all the way up here, and we're going to connect it into the house right there. That switch we're going to move for the radon system. We have a new regulator that goes into the house, and I was informed because I have some of this electrical stuff, I'm going to actually have to run a pipe out past the electrical at least 3 feet, so that if it were ever to vent, it's not venting by electricity and sparking and causing a fire. So a little bit of projects. All right, we are back on, this would be day 2 of our hot tub installation project. And as you have seen earlier, we've got our trench dug up to the house where we have a penetration that will connect up with our electrical box. And what we're getting ready to do here is we're going to run some wire. And the way this is all going to work here is this box right here has a 60 amp breaker that is strictly only a switch. And we're going to connect up with this hot tub, which has a 50 amp requirement. We're using 6 gauge wire with an 8 gauge ground. We're going to run that 6 gauge wire from this shutoff box all the way up through our tube into the house where we have a breaker, and that's going to be our ground fault breaker. Now, when researching this, basically I was going to potentially put my ground fault breaker outside, but I decided against that because they can be fickle pieces of equipment with regard to temperature and humidity, and I thought having it inside the house was a far better option. The manufacturer of the hot tub uses a wiring diagram that shows the ground fault breaker outside, and then it connects inside to a basic 60 amp switch. However, we're gonna switch that around. We're gonna have just the basic switch outside, and we'll have the ground fault interrupter switch in the basement. I think that should work out better, but this is what we're doing. So now we're going to try to get this wire in without too much heartache. I am not going to run the wire. I'm not going to do all the tubing and then run the wire that way. I'm going to kind of do it as we go here. I am not an electrician. I am not an electrical professional. I do have experience wiring my own stuff. My stuff has been wired and it's been inspected before. So I feel fairly confident on what I know and don't know, and know where to look with what I don't know. So with that being said, though, don't look at my information and go, this is what I should copy. So we're going to get to work. Let's see what we do. What? We can shove it through the tube in there.
But then when we reach it, it will.
Hopefully.
Which way will we shove it down the tube? From the switch or
Yep, we're going to do it.
from the switch? And once we see it come out, then we have to stop.
Okay. Very important here. We don't want to get our wires mixed up and tangled, so I'm going to. You're going to kind of help me, okay? So watch out. You have to back up there. So like this green wire here. Okay, let go. I got this. You're going to just.
What?
So see how this green's getting bunched up?
Yeah.
Just kind of keep it out of the way and keep it nice.
Hang on, stop.
I'm going to just keep going here, okay?
Okay, but hang on.
You're okay.
We'll get tangled.
We're okay. We're okay, Elvis.
Oh no, stop. Okay, there. Go. Uh-oh, we have a twisted area.
Okay.
Right there. I'll see if it comes out. Struggling with red is stuck. Come on, Dad, red stuck.
Ready? Let go.
We're getting there. We're
Yep.
doing good.
We are. We're almost.
And it helps with an 80-pound brother. We're 90. I'm not 90. And then me and Molly's put about more than 100 pounds of weight on this thing, right?
Yep.
How
Okay,
much?
stand on it. Today I bring you my 17-year-old hot tub that we have resurrected from storage, outdoor storage. We have filled this up and cycled the water through it to get out all the mold and out all the crud. And I used Norwex laundry detergent to clean out the lines. We had a big pile of foam. Then we drained it out again. As you saw just a minute ago, I vacuumed out the remnants on the bottom. So we've got this thing pretty much cleaned out now. We know it works. I'm hoping the heater still works. We'll figure that out as soon as we determine if the temperature rises. But here we are. This is the final countdown on this project here. What we did was we ran the electrical from the house all the way down. We trenched it about 18 inches deep through PVC into the hot tub. We have the switch. This is only a switch that is right here, and that's just essentially the on-off switch. And we've put in the house our GFI breaker in the panel. That's a 50 amp GFI breaker. That's kind of a better spot for it, so that's what we've done. So now all that we really have left to do is we're going to put some scrap wire on top of our PVC to hopefully detect it a little easier, and then we should be set to go. So this has been a long time coming. We haven't had this up and running since I think 2014. It has sat outside. We did winterize it, made sure there wasn't water in the lines. We blew them out, vacuumed them out. Everything seems to work. There doesn't seem to be any leaks. So I don't know, time will tell. We'll see what happens. But what we've got inside here, we did a liquid line all the way across, and then we plugged it into our main box there. Looking here at our main electrical box in the basement of our house here, I wanted to point out this is the 50 amp breaker that we're using for the hot tub, and this is the GFI outlet. So this is a Cutler hammer, and you can, if your box is different, obviously you're going to have a different style outlet, but this is what we have. I'm not going to test it because I don't want to have the hot tub shut off and then go through its cycle again. But basically, if there were some type of fault, this would trip, and it would, it's more sensitive than these other breakers, which are more just current based. But we test it; it works good. Here, let go.
It's still on.
Well, it's running. Okay. We are outside at our hot tub today, and we have it up and running. So